Welcome back, everybody, to a world of mathematics. Okay, let's start with compound interest. So we are now here. We've already done simple interest. So far, so good. Now we are dwelling to the concept of compound interest. You know what to do. All you have to do is to complete the table and you're on your way. Get it? Now here's how we do it. First, we know in compound interest, the formula goes like this as follows. Diba, remember ang formula ng compound interest ay ganito. Yan. So, the formula for compound interest, no, that's for simple interest. I'm very sorry. Am I right? That's the, yeah. Let me write it for you. Okay? So, the formula for compound interest is P times 1 plus the rate, which is being raised by the time to give you the amount. Unless there's a compounding period, the R is being divided by C, and the T is being raised by the C power. Get it? Now let's solve the compound interest problems. Are you ready? Let's start. Okay. So for our first problem, it says here that our principal is, what do you call this? Our principal is 50,000 pesos. 50,000 pesos has a rate of 6%. Compounding period compounded by monthly. Our time unit is 5 years. So what is the interest and amount? Complete the table. Now, here's what we're going to do. In this situation, we're going to solve for the amount and the interest. So to solve it, so kung sa mo last time, sa simple interest, the P times R times T gives you the interest. Ngayon, P times 1 plus the rate raised to the T power gives you the A. And then, to get the interest, it's A minus P. Very easy, right? Here's a solution sheet that I've done in Excel. So, this is my solution sheet that I've done in Microsoft Excel, alright? So, let's start with number 1. We have our principal of 50,000 pesos and a rate of 6%, our time of 5 years. Compounding period is bi-monthly. So, what's the first thing that we're gonna do? First, di ba remember sabi dito, we are going to ano yun? We write the formula and we know that it's P times R times T, P raised to the 1. Di ba? Order of operation. Looking back at our guide, order of operation, what comes first? R, di ba? We need to solve for R. So, R divided by C. So, therefore, it's this one, 6%, divided by, remember what does bi-monthly mean? Bi-monthly means 6. So, dividing that by 6, you get 0.01. So, therefore, that's 1%. Diba? Now, the next thing is we need to add 1. Kasi, diba remember, if we have already divided, diba remember, if you do PEMDAS, diba ito yung formula ng compound interest, diba? So, yan. So, the R divided by C, ginawa na namin. Now, all we have to do is to, diba remember, this is the first thing that we did. Next, we're gonna have to do this. I-add na namin. Diba? We need to add it with 1 plus the answer that we get from dividing R divided by C. And doing that, so, diba remember this is our answer, diba? We get 0.01. So, the next thing that we're going to do is to add. So, this one plus 1. And you should get 1.01 as the rate. And then for the time, diba remember yung time, it's an exponent. So, therefore, it's time multiplied by the compounding period, which is by monthly. So, therefore, we're gonna have to raise this by the 30th power. So, therefore, your answer here, we're going to raise that to the 30th power. Because by monthly means 6, diba? And 5 times 6 gives you 30. If you are to try this one, you can also do it this way. You can also do raise to the 5 times 6. You still get the same answer. It's all equal. Now, we get our answer of 1.34784. Now, do I remember we've already done the exponent. So, whatever answer we've done here, we've already done the exponent. And then we multiply everything. So, now we have to multiply that by our principal. The principal multiplied by our answer here. So, what do we do last? We have to multiply that with the principal. So, press equal. Where is it? No, that's not. So, press equal. And then click this cell. And then we multiply that with the principal of 50,000 pesos. Did we get the amount? What's the amount? The amount that we got is 67,000 67,392 pesos, 0.45 cents. Rounded. Okay? So, and then we put the amount here. Diba, remember this is the formula in amount if we do everything all together. Kapag sinabay tayo, diba, we have this one, 50,000, multiplied by the 1 plus the rate, which is 6%, divided by 6. All being raised to the 30th power. Diba? So that one comes first, and then add 1, then move raise to the 30th power. And then you should get, yes, that's the answer, diba? If you want to round it off, you can shift the decimal point, moving it this way. Like this. Yan. So the answer is 67,392.45 cents. Then to get the interest, madali lang yan. Amount minus the principal. A minus P to give you the I. Did we get it right? Yes. And then because, remember, we want less. So we do it this way. Yan. You can always click this one if you want to add decimal or add decimal. So let's say, for example, 0.0. So shift the decimal point to the left. Shift the decimal point to the right. So we're going to shift the decimal point to the left. Okay? So yan. And that should be our answer. So the interest is 17,392 pesos, while the amount is 67,000. Yun lang. And that's our answer. Ta-da! Number 1 is done. Next, number 2. For number 2, our principal is not given, but we have the rate, the time, compounding period, and the amount. So, if we want to solve for so what do we need to do here? We need to solve for the interest and the principal. But we can't solve for the interest right now because the principal is not known. But don't worry. Using what you've learned to help you solve for the answer here. Diba, remember this is the formula, diba? P times 1 plus R divided by C raised to the CT power is equivalent to your amount. Pero if you're asked to solve for the principal, what do? Solve it in reverse. Very good. So it's future value divided by whatever answer you get here in order to get the principal. Okay? Now let's get back to Excel to work on the solution sheet. So remember our rate is 2.2%. Our time is 12 years. Our compounding period is quarterly. So here's the solution. First, remember ang sabi dito, we need to compute for everything. Everything we must compute. So let's start with this one. R divided by C. So where's our R? Our R is the 2.2, diba? So pindutin mo to, 2.2% divided by, what is the term? Quarterly. So that's the compounding period. So you get this answer of 0.055. Next, this one, you're gonna have to multiply that, you're gonna have to add 1. Why add 1? Because remember that's the next step, diba? Add 1. You get 1.055. Next, this step, you get to multiply that by you get to raise that to the C times T power. So 12 times 4, diba? Quarterly means 4, diba? Quarterly and 12. So that's being raised to the 48th power. You should get this answer of 1.3. Then whatever answer we get here, we get to divide it from the future value. So therefore, future value divided by the answer that you get here, and you should get, wow, 79,999.99. Or we can just round it off to 800,000 na lang. 80,000 na lang. Ang laki, di ba? Parang i-round na namin sa 80,000. So therefore, this is the formula. Di ba, remember, we do this, di ba? Future value, in summary, future value, divide by 1 plus this guy, divide by the compounding period that's being raised to the power. Did we get it right? Yes. And that's 80,000 pesos. And that's the principal that I'm supposed to be getting. Therefore, the principal should be amounting to 80,000 pesos. Yun ang value ng principal, 80,000. Diba, sabi ko 80,000 is your principal, diba? You just have to round it off. I-round mo yung 79,999. And then to get the interest, you know already the formula. It's always the amount minus the principal. Diba? With that, you should get 24,095 pesos. Pero we want to move a decimal place. So we have to, ano yun? Yan. Pindutin mo lang siya. Reduce. Tama. That's supposed to be the answer. Okay? 24,094.93. Yun lang. Next, for number 3, we have 6,300 pesos and the rate and then the time. Look, our rate is not given. Wala yung rate. Paano na yan? Don't worry. Utilizing what you've learned to help you answer the following. Moreover, look at the time. Look at the amount. Wala tayong amount. Pero good news. Diba yung may sabi ko sa iyo, if you want to get the amount, what do? P plus I equals A, diba? To get the amount. So doing that first, we do this. Diba remember this is our amount, diba? Ay, I've already done it for you. Diba remember ang ginawa ko dito? We sum 6,300 pesos plus 2,200 to get 8,500 pesos. Now to solve for the rate. Paano tayo sa solve ng rate? Now we have to do this in backwards. So what's the first thing that we're gonna have to do? Diba remember this is the formula, diba? Ito yung ginawa namin. So this what we're gonna do. Equals to future value. So if we're gonna solve for rate, everything we are gonna have to simplify the exponent. And then, diba remember, we get the answer. So ganito kasi yun. So what's the first thing that we're gonna do? Future value divided by the present value. Kasi diba remember, what is the first thing we need to do? Kasi nga diba remember, ang unang dapat gagawin ay R divided by C. Then after doing so, we add 1. Then after that, we raise it to the exponent and then multiply by P to get the future value. So now what we're gonna have to do is to solve it in reverse. So therefore, we're gonna have to divide. So therefore, a future value of 8,500 pesos divided by our principal, which is 6,300. What do we get? We get 1.349. Diba? And then, we need to take the root. Diba? Remember what is our root? It's 9 years per compounded monthly. So therefore, we're gonna have to raise the exponent by 12. So therefore, it's this guy being raised to the 1 over product of 9 times 12, diba? Product of this guy and 12, diba? Or in short, that's the same as ano yun? Raising this answer to the 1 over 108 power, diba? You will still get the same answer. Okay? And then from there, what do you do next? The next thing that you're going to do is this. Ano yung gawin namin dito? What comes before you root? Add 1. Pero what's the opposite? Is subtract. So we're gonna have to subtract. And then after that, what do we do now? Or you can just rationalize. And after that, we multiply that by 12. Multiplying that by 12, what answer do you get? You get 0.003. Diba? And we need to convert that into percent. So the last step that we need to do is to multiply this by 100. Multiplying that by 100, you get 3.33%. So therefore, that is the value of the rate. So therefore, in summary, it's always future value divided by the principal being raised to 1 over the 9 times 12 power. I think, diba, remember, dapat we're supposed to, ano yun, put parentheses, diba? Para to ensure that it's really, ano yun, parentheses, diba? And then minus 1. Put parentheses. And then we multiply that by 12. Did we get the same answer? Yes, we got the same answer. 0.03325. That is the formula in summary. But we want to convert that into percent. To convert that into percent, click on this general stuff, then find the percentage. At yan, yun yung sagot. So therefore, the value of the interest rate is 3.33%. That is the value of our rate. Very good. So far, so good. At least you're keeping up the good job. Next, let's go to number 4. For number 4, here's the problem that I have today. We have 16,000 pesos as the principal, 4% as the rate, time is unknown, compounding period is annually. Diba sabi ko, kapag ang compounding period na yan ay annually, ibig sabihin, always 1. So that's the default. And then the interest is 6,400 pesos. Now, we need to solve for the time. But before that, we need to get the amount. Madali lang talagang pagkuha ng amount. And actually, to be honest, I've already done it for you. Because to get the amount, it's 6,400 plus 16,000 to give me 2,400, diba? So, yan. So, I just type sum of this guy and then this guy. We got this. Teka. Baka man-emote, there's a troubleshoot. Back to the shoot now. So now I solved the problem. So I just need to add something. And then yun yan, that's what you get. 22,400. Now we're gonna have to solve for the time. Pero the time is not known. How do we do that? Diba remember sabi dito sa time, we need to do something. Pero in general, ang gagawin na namin ay future value divided by the principal. So therefore, you have 22,400 divided by 16,000. And we're supposed to get 1.4. Tama? That's on future value divided by the principal. And then on the other hand, we have to add. Diba remember this one is your ano yun? We have to solve for the following. So diba remember this particular situation, we do 1 plus the answer here, diba? Which is 4%. And you should get 1.04. Tama? So therefore, and then, di ba remember, we are now stuck with this. Then if I were to write this on paper, ganito siya. Yan. So looking at my solution sheet, di ba remember ito yun, di ba? So we do 22,400 divided by 16,000. And then we did this and we get 1.4, di ba? So tama, we're supposed to get 1.4. And then, di ba remember, on the other hand, we simplify 1 plus 0.04, we get 1.04 raised to the t power equals 1.4. Now, what do? We take the log. Very good. So, taking the log, let's say, for example, if you have a base 10 calculator, it's always the log of the future value divided by the present value on the top, divided by the log of the answer in rate. Why should the future value in the principal be on the top? Because big is big. We know that principal is big, and future amount is big. So, therefore, yung big ay nasa taas. And then, di ba remember yung rate? Time nasa baba dahil maliit. So now we're gonna have to divide. So therefore, ito yung gagawin namin. We take the log of those. So we do log base, so di ba remember, type dito log 10. We take the log base 10 of this number. Doing the same thing din. Log 10 of that number. Then from there, divide. This from present value, this from future value. So let's just type this one, f divided by p. This one is 1 plus the r, diba? And then we do this, divide, diba? Taking the log, and we should get this answer of 8.57. That is the time. Now, if you were to do the direct formula, there is a Excel. All you have to do is to type log, and then choose the base, the number, which is the number that you want to take, and the base. The base is, di ba remember, if you translate this in exponential equation, ito yung base, ito yung sagot. So, number is the answer. And then this the base. So, you just have to type the base, di ba? Pero that's the so that's the one. Log of this one, and then that number, 1.04. Di ba? Did we get the same answer? It's exact. So, therefore, the time is 8.58 years, di ba? And that is within that is rounded, okay? So now we've already solved for the following. Good job. That's already so far so good. 4 items so far. Next, let's go to number 5. In number 5, our problem is this. although our principal and time are not known, we can still utilize all the things that we've learned in order for us to solve for the answer. First, since amount and interest have already been given, our goal is to solve for the principal. To solve for the principal, it's just easy. A minus P to give you the P. A minus I to give you the P. And actually, I've already done it for you. Look, di ba remember ang ginawa ko dito ay ito, minus this one. Look at that, oh. Yan. And now our goal is to solve for T. How do we solve for T? Ganon kasimple. First, let's do the same formula just like what I told you before. Diba remember, ito yung solution sheet, diba? So this is the future value divided by the present value. This one is the 1 plus R, diba? So yan. Pero since we already have a compounding period, kasi not like what happened last time, wala pa tayong compounding period. Ngayon, meron tayong compounding period. Diba? Now, for future value divided by present value, here's what we're gonna do. Diba remember, our future value divided by present value is this. Type equal, this is the answer, 25,000 divided by 22,500. And we should get 1.11111 and a bunch of ones. Diba? And then, taking the log base 10, that one, nakita mo yung base 10, diba? Log 10. Then choose the number. You should get this answer of, ano yun? .045757491. Okay? And then on the other hand, what we're gonna do is 1 plus the rate, which is divided by 12. Diba remember this is what we're going to do? So, ang gagawin na namin ay ganito. Diba remember the first thing that we're gonna have to do is this guy, 3.5%. If you were to convert that to decimal, that'll be 3.035. Diba? And it's monthly, so therefore we're gonna have to divide that by 12. Diba? That is what you're gonna do. Then from there, after doing so, we add 1. And what do we get? We get 1.00291667. 1667. Diba? And then we take the log of that number, log base 10. We should get this answer. And then dividing that out, this one divided by this one, dividing the logs divide. Yan, diba? That's the answer that we're supposed to get. We're supposed to get 36.17. And then, we still have the 12t. Diba? Remember, meron tayong 12t doon sa dulo, diba? So now, all we have to do is divide that by 12t. Divide both sides by 12. So therefore, this answer is being divided by 12. And what answer do we get? We get 3.01468, or in short, 3 years na lang. So yan. In summary, the formula is this. We can do log. What is the log? The number and the base, diba? Then whatever answer we get to divide that by 12. Do we still get the same answer? Yes, we did. And that's how we take the logs. Very easy, diba? That's how we solve for the time kung na-master mo yung log. Pero let's say, for example, kung wala kang log base, specific number, you can just do the future value divided by the principal taken by a log on numerator, and then on denominator, log base 10 of the 1 plus r. Done mo yan, ha? Next, now let's go to number 6. We have 20,000 pesos as the principal, and the rate is 6.5%, and then our time is from January 26, 2016 to June 27, 2022. Our time is annually. So how do we solve for the interest and the amount? To solve for the interest and the amount, mabilis lang yun. We do the same formula as follows. P times 1 plus the rate raised to the t power equals the amount. Pero our problem now is there's a time unit being specified. So you might be asking me, sir, paano na yan? May time unit na, so compound interest. Di bale. Kasi nga diba, remember, it's just like what you've done before when you are in simple interest. If you're given a value from this date up to that date, therefore, all you have to do is, you're gonna have to So, for the interval, okay? Now, here's my solution sheet. I did it in both situations for ordinary and exact, but I think I might be more compatible with ordinary time. So, to do for ordinary time, di ba remember this what I do? So, I have 2020 here. This the year. Wait, 2022 pala. Sorry pala. 2022. And then this my month. June 27, di ba? E2. Then minus the E1. 2016. January. And then 26. Di ba? And then we do this subtraction. Minus this one. Then we shift this to the right. Para ma-chool this, ganon. And we should get 6 years, 5 months, and 1 day. And now we have to convert. Diba remember, we're using ordinary time. So 1 year is worth 360 days. But 6 years, it's 2,160 days. And then 1 month is worth 30 days. But 5 months, it's 150 days. And then plus 1. So ang ginawa ko dito ay, yun nga, sinam ko lahat. So therefore, we're supposed to get 2,311 days. Paano yung formula? 360 times 6 because there are 6 years, diba? 6 times 360. And then 30 times 5 because 30 means 1 month and 30 days. And since there are 5 months, so 30 times 5. Then add 1 because we still have the remnant of 1 day. Diba? And that's how we get our answer. On the other hand, kapag sa exact interest naman, we need to add. So we need to have the sum of this number. So we have 366 minus 26 plus 1. And that's from January 26, 2016. So 326 and then, yun nga, minus 26 plus 1. Kasi di ba remember, minus 26 because that's January. Diba? There are 366 days in 2016. Diba? And then we minus 26 because we're excluding the January. And then we add 1 because that is your, ano yun? That is our time. Diba? So therefore, that's the number of days, diba? So that's supposed to be negative 25. So minus 25 days of January. So we're gonna start off at 366 minus 25. And then add 60, and then this is 365 means 2017, 2018, 2019, 366 is 2020, 365, 2021, kapag 2022 na, 31 plus 28 plus 31 plus 30, January, February, March, April, and May. Tapos yung 27 ay June. So therefore, we should have 2,345 days. And that is compounded annually. Now we can solve for the interest and the amount. How do we do that? First, let's do this. Diba remember this our solution sheet, diba? So the first thing that we need to do is to apply the rate. Diba remember the rate, it doesn't have to be divided. So therefore, we have 6.5% plus 1. Diba? And then we get this answer. No, I think it's better if we do it this way na lang. Kasi nga this one, I divide it by 100. So therefore, this one plus 1. Diba? Pero I don't want percent. I want it in real number. So general. So yan, diba? So that's 1.065. And then this one, we raise it to that power. Pero what about our time? Kasi nga diba remember, our time unit is different. So we need to convert our time units. So therefore, this one, yung 2,311, we're gonna have to divide that by 360. Dahil nga, diba remember, ang 360, it's in, ang 2,311, you thought kasi that's the number of years. Pero that's days. We computed for the number of days. So we need to convert that to years. And we convert that to years using ordinary time. That 1 year is worth 360 days. Diba? But we have 2,311. So we're gonna have to divide that by 360. And we should get this answer. Diba? And then, diba remember, this one is your exponent. Diba? That is your time. So, yun na yung oras mo. That is the time. 2,311 divided by 360. And then we raise it to that power. 1.065 raised to the time that's being divided. So, or you can just do, ano yun? This one raised to the, this guy divided by 360. And if you will still get the same answer, you still get the same answer din. Okay? Next, and after that, we get to multiply that by our principal. And do, oh my God, sorry. Multiply that by our principal. So yan, we click this. Where's our principal of 20,000? Multiplying that by our principal, we should get the principal of 29,000. Ano? $29,963.96. So yan, so that is our exact ordinary amount. Diba? So let's just type it here. Diba, remember ito yung ginawa namin. So 20,000 times 1 plus the rate. The rate of this one. And then it's being raised to this one divided by 3/60th power. Did we get the same answer? Yes, we still get the same answer of 29,963.97 cents. So let's just move the decimal point away. Yan. And then from there, we need to subtract this one minus your principal to give you the interest of 9,963.97 or rounded to get 64. So yan. Diba? That's for ordinary interest. Now, let's say if you want exact naman, ganito kasi yung gawin mo. Let's say if you want it exact, the formula is still the same. You add this one with, no. You add, siguro what Cholas, I'll bring down na lang that one. Para what Cholas, in fairness, same pa yung solution. So, yan. And then from there, we raise that to diba remember, to 2,345 divided by 365. Kasi nga, that's exact interest. So, we need to divide it by 365. And we should get this answer. Then we raise it to that number, to that exponent. Yan. And then apply getting the principal. Multiply it by our principal, we should get 29,973.80. Diba? That is your future amount. In summary, kapag ginawa tayo dito, ganito kasi yun. Diba? Remember, we have the principal of 20,000 pesos multiplied by 1 plus the rate, and then we raise that to the power. Divide by 365. Do we still get it? Yes, we still got the same answer. Oops. Yan. Diba? 29,973.80 pesos. And then subtract to get the interest, diba? Subtract. Yan. Okay. And there we have it. So those are the final answers for this problem. Okay? And that's number 6. Last but not least, I want to show you number 7 para matapos na. Okay? Last but not least, let's go to this one. Actually, I really want to show you everything. Pero what you all this, I think it's time for me to stop. So, I think so far so good. So, maybe I'll just help you out another time. Or if you like, let's do number 7. Kasi nga, this one's in another page. Let's do number 7 na lang muna, ha? Do not worry about 8 to 10. We'll do that na lang some other time. So, for number 7, we have this. If I remember, our principal is not known. Pero our rate is 3.7.5%. Our time unit, ayan. Look at our time unit. Our time unit is from this day up to that date. November 27, 2017 to July 17, 2020. Our time compounding period is bi-monthly. And then we have the interest amount. So now our goal is to solve for the principal and then from there get the interest. Very good. But we have a problem. Our time unit is from this day up to that date. So now we know already what to do. We need to compute for the number of days. Here we go again. So going back now to our solution sheet. Ganito kasi yun. Di ba remember, first off, we do not know what the principal is. Pero our 3.75, we divide by 100, we should get 0.0375. And then, di ba remember, this one talks about the number of days that we're supposed to get. Although I've already done it for you. Pero here's how I computed that. Di ba remember this is our solution sheet in number 27? Di ba remember we have 2019. Kailan tayo nag-start? 2020, di ba? 2020. And then here we have the time. Di ba? July 17. Di ba? And then we have 2017, November, and then 27. Of course, 17 minus 27 cannot be X. So therefore, we need to borrow. So borrowing 1 month, we get 2020. And this becomes June, di ba? Bakit naging June? Because we need to borrow 30 days. Di ba? And 17 plus 30, we get 47 days na lang. Minus 27, and then we have November, and then 2017, di ba? Copy the table. So we find the difference of both of these numbers, and we should get, ano yun, 20. 6 minus 11 cannot be. So we need to borrow from 1 year. And borrowing from 1 year, we go 2019, and this becomes 2017. This one, we add 12. So therefore, we need to add 12 because there are 12 months in 1 year. So we have 18. And then we have 47 minus 11 and 27. Now we can subtract everything. So we subtract everything because now they're already back to base. If you want things to be very quick, you see the green square right over here. You can simply drag it, click on this. Nakita mo yung may plus, then drag it to the left. Yun. At yun yung sagot. So therefore, you're supposed to have 2 years, 7 months, and 20 days. For exact interest, diba remember 1 year is worth 360. For ordinary interest, you know that 1 year is worth 360 days. Just like what I wrote here. And we have 2 years, that's 720. And then 1 month is worth 30 days. But 7 months is worth 210 days. And then plus 20. Ito yung ginawa ko sa solution sheet ko. So 2 times 360, because there are 2 360s in 1 year. And then 7 times 30, because there are 7 months. And 30 days in 1 month, plus 20. We should get 950. On the other hand, ito yung exact interest namin. So we need to do the sum. So kailan tayo nag-start? We start from November 27. So in November 27 na yan, that's 4. Up to November 30. From December 1 to 31, 31 days. 2018, 365. 2019, 365 din. Tapos 2020, January is 31. February, 29 days. Diba may leap year ang 2020, diba? Check your calendar. And then 31 kapag March, 30 April, May, June, tapos July. And when we add this up all together, we get 964 days. Diba? But we need to convert our time unit. Kasi our time unit is not right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Here, I've already made the solution sheet. So the first thing that I've done is this. First, I did 6 times 964, all divided by 365. Kasi diba remember, our time period is bi-monthly. Because I need to convert the time unit. Because in this example, I need to get the exponent. Kasi nga, if I were to write it, it will go like this now. Let me write it for you. Ayan, so yan yung formula namin. So therefore, we have the future amount divided by, because this is the formula to solve for the principal. And then our rate is 1 plus 0.0375 divided by 6. And then we sum the answer and then we raise it to that exponent, which is 6 times 964 divided by 365. So this one, this is the, ano yun? Wait lang. So therefore, yung 6 times 964 divided by 365, just when I put in my solution sheet, ito yung exponent. So that is the exponential value. So yun yung value kapag in-exponent namin. Okay? Wait, I think we have a little error. Kasi nga dapat I was not supposed to be doing that. Sige, let's wait for a while until we can solve this problem. Okay. So, sorry, thank the Lord, the problem's already fixed. So therefore, this one is exponent. This one, exponent. Okay? Kasi yun, remember, ang ginawa namin dito, our goal is to, ano yun, to get the value of the exponent. Diba? Kasi yung exponent namin ay malabo. So now, this is what we do. For the exact, diba, remember, we do 6 times 964 divided by 365. And with that, what answer did we get? the answer that we should get is 15.8465753. Okay? And then, di ba remember we got that exponent? And then from there, ang ginawa ko dito ay 0.0375 divided by 6. So if you look at this one, that is dividing. R divided by C. So I'll just put here R divided by C. So that we already know that this is the rate divided by the compounding period. And when we do that, we get 0.00625. Diba? Because that's 0.0375 divided by 6. Diba? Tama ba? Yes. And then from there, diba remember this one, ang ginawa ko dito, i-add 1. C47, naka-highlight in blue, then add 1. So ginawa ko dito, in-add by 1. So therefore, the answer that I got here, this is R divided by C plus 1. So ang ginawa ko dito, i-add 1, and we should get this answer. And then from there, what's next? Ang ginawa ko dito sa next step, I exponent that. So I raised it to that exponent. Okay? Raising that to that power. R raised to the t power. So, di ba remember ito yung ginawa ko? So I have to color this, okay? And when I do that, I get an answer of 1.103771416. Okay? So that is our rate. So that is our ans of R raised to ans of T. Okay? Yan, answer of R raised to answer of T. And we should get this answer. Diba? So, yun yung ginawa ko. Diba? Remember the first step is I did the exponents first. And then this one, then add 1, and then answer. And then the last step is the future value, which is 97,070 pesos, divided by our answer. So that should be what's the answer? The principal should be 87,943.93.46. So this one ang ginawa ko dito, future value or amount for A divided by answer. Answer of what? Answer of the base. Yan. Diba? In summary, ito yung ginawa namin. So, ang ginawa ko dito ay 9,070 divided by 1 plus R divided by C, diba? R divided by 6, diba? Pero we have to put parenthesis here dahil nga, yun nga, fraction. Diba? And then erase that to the, lagay namin yung carat, raise it to the what power? What's the exponent in exact interest? Okay. Raise to this power. Or you can simply do 6 times 964 divided by 365. Diba? You can do it this way. And when you do that, diba, remember you have to put that in parentheses, diba? Did we get the same answer? Yes, we did get the same answer. And then we need to convert that into, ano yun? Decimal. So we need to put it 2 places to the right. So yan, it's 87,943.93 cents. Yan. And then to get the interest, it's very easy. Just subtract future amount minus the principal. And you get this answer. Shift the decimal place. Yan. Yun lang. Okay? For the ordinary interest naman, di ba remember sabi ko dito, the first thing that we're gonna do is the exponent. So, ang ginawa ko dito ay 15 plus 5 divided by 6. Now, you might be asking me, bakit 15 plus 5 divided by 6 yung exponent ko? Ganito kasi yun. Di ba remember what is our, our time, di ba? Our time is 950. Di ba remember I have 950 days, di ba? 950 divided by 360. And that becomes 95 over 36. Diba? 95 over 36. Am I right? Tama ba? Yes, and that is our conversion period. And then from there, we have this. Ayan, di ba remember this my solution sheet, di ba? 6 times 950. And then the 9 and the 2 zeros they cancel, which simplifies to 95 over 36. And 6 divided by 36 cancels, which simplifies to 95 over 30. And then which simplifies to 1 over 6. So 95 divided by 6, tama. It's the same as 15 over 6. So tama, that's supposed to be our answer, okay? So therefore, that's supposed to be our answer. Yan. And then from there, we do this. R divided by C. Naalam mo kanina yung R? The R of 3.75 divided by our compounding period, which is 6. And when we do that, we should get, what's the answer? Same pa rin. And then from there, we add 1. Whatever answer we get here, i-add na namin by 1. Yan. R divided by C plus 1. Yan. And then from there, the answer of R, this is the answer of R, diba? And then the answer of T, which is the exponent. Yan. So therefore, we're gonna raise it to that power. Diba? These are answer in the R, and then these are exponent. So we're gonna have to raise that. And when we do that, what answer did we get? We get 1.103680353. And then from there, i-divide. So when we divide, we should get this answer. So ang ginawa namin ay 97,070 divided by R, 1.103. And we should get this answer of 87,951.19 for ordinary time. Now, going back to our solution here, remember we have the future value. The future value divided by 1 plus the rate. Remember we have R, which is this one, divided by our compounding period, which is 12. Diba? And then we raise that to this power, which is, ano yun? 15.83333. Did we still get the same answer? Oh my God, that's not even right. Okay. Kasi nga diba, remember, ang ginawa ko dito, we subtract first. Divide muna. And then from there, i-add. And then from there, we raise it to that power. Tama nga, we're supposed to raise it to that power. And we're supposed to get, ano yun? That's not the answer that we're supposed to get. That's too large. Sige, let's work it step by step. Diba remember? Sige, wait lang ha. Divide by 6 pala. I'm so sorry guys. So yun nga, that's supposed to be our answer. So our answer is supposed to be divided by 6. So therefore, ito yung ginawa namin. So therefore, we have 1 plus this C48, which is this guy, the rate. And then, we divide it by 6. Diba? Or pwede naman para direct, we don't need to type this anymore. Ganito na lang yung mangyayari. So we can just do it like this. So we can do 1.065 and then we raise that to the exponent. Para shortcut na namin. Diba? Tama. We should get the same answer. Kasi nga, we were to do it with a series of steps, it might take even longer eh. And because that's our principle, we need to move the decimal places to the right. So yan. So therefore, our ordinary principle is supposed to be 87,951.19 cents. Last but not least, to solve for the interest rate, subtract, and then we should get this answer. And that's already correct because that's already in cents. So yun nga. So the ordinary interest should be 9,118.81 cents. At yun, that's how we solve all the items. There's still 3 more problems that we still need to solve, pero I'll let you solve that na lang another time. Sige, God bless ka na sa pag-aaral and ingat guys. Bye!